What is a survival myth that is completely wrong and could get you killed? When anonymous people on the internet proclaim to debunk commonplace survival strategies, always confirm or refute with multiple independent second-hand sources. As an army medic, I can second this. Reddit and wilderness first aid makes me irrationally angry. At first I thought that Reddit would be a very good place to learn things, including my things. Soon after I got a bit good at my things with some year experience, I realized that most things I read in Reddit are pure bullshit. Probably written by numerous people learned from other clueless people. Astronomer here. A lot of people out there think the North Star is the brightest star in the sky. It's actually a star of medium-ish brightness. So don't follow the brightest star of the sky because you will definitely not be going north. Instead, learn to find it using the Big Dipper. Edit. For those pointing out the sun is the brightest star in the sky, congratulations, you win the pedantic award. Edit 2. For those saying the sun isn't the brightest star in the sky anyway, you not only get the same award, you're also not actually right. In astronomy, brightness refers to how the object appears from our vantage point on Earth, measured in units called magnitude. But we also have a unit called absolute magnitude in astronomy for all objects, where you basically say, if we put every object in the sky at the same distance, how bright would it be? So, if I asked an astronomer, what's the brightest star other than the sun? They would. If I asked, what's the star with the highest absolute magnitude? I would be told about. The French called it the casserole, Carl Sagan. If you're dehydrated in a desert, do not drink cacti juice. It's the quenchiest. You shouldn't burn a tick to remove it. You shouldn't rub butter on a burn. Any relation between the prior two tips is entirely coincidental. So what happens if you rub the tick with butter? You find it even harder to grab with tweezers. Splitting up to investigate a weird sound at a summer camp. Splitting up at all in a horror movie. Especially when it's you and the hot girl sneaking away to fuck while the others investigate. You and the girl will get murdered no matter the context. I've heard people say that you have to shave your hair off after you've been exposed to radiation. Probably because they think radioactive dust will cling to your hair and make you sick. The problem is that shaving can create small cuts and abrasions, and you don't want that when you're covered in fallout. Just use shampoo and don't shave anything. Why not conditioner? It makes radioactive dust stick more to your hair. Dinosaurs don't see you if you stand still. This one's actually true. I've been standing still for years now and not a single dino has spotted me. If someone's having a seizure, do not put shit in their mouth. They're not gonna bite their tongue off, and now they're gonna choke to death. I mostly blame Black Hawk Down from propagating this misinformation. Generally you don't do much other than make sure they can breathe and there are no dangerous obstacles nearby. One of the scariest moments of my life was when my friend started seizing face down and it was pushing her face into the bed. I didn't even know what to do, just called for her parents. They came and turned her over, then I gave her a very long hug. That's the thing I figured out I could do. Seizures are a big thing to go through. My friend always needed a very long, quiet hug after. She's alive and well today. No worries. But that moment made me realize how easily epileptics could die. Had a dog with epilepsy. When she had seizures, all we could do was just hold her and talk to her until it passed. It was always upsetting because she would start to feel it coming on and sprint as fast as she could to the nearest family member, bumping into walls and sometimes knocking things over, because she knew she needed help. You can eat in anything that animals eat. Sees cows eating grass for dinner, it is. Sees termites eating tree for dinner, it is. Do not drink alcohol to make you warmer when freezing. Drink alcohol to make freezing to death less unpleasant. Drink alcohol to make just about anything less unpleasant. Never rub frostbitten skin. Rubbing the site will cause more tissue damage. Also, don't rewarm frostbitten skin if it will be refrozen again prior to rescue. Whoa, that's interesting. I'm curious why that would be bad. If you have been stabbed by a knife, do not remove it. It could be the only thing stopping you from bleeding to death. On the other hand, if you stab someone, twist the knife to do a critical hit. I just pull it out and stab again. This one isn't very widely accepted, but it's in movies frequently. If you're stranded in a desert, moving during the day is alright. This will keep the risk of almost everything is higher during the day. Sunburn, dehydration, heat exhaustion, heat stroke, damage to your eyes, seeing mirages that lead on goose chases for a puddle of water. Traveling at night lowers or removes all of these risks, but does add a risk of disorientation and predators. But those are chance things, whereas heat stroke is a sure thing if you travel during the day without enough water. Edit. Some people in the comments with more experience with this than me have pointed out that in some deserts it gets dangerous to move about at night because of how cold it is. They suggested moving during the early daytime hours before it gets hot, and the late afternoon, evening after it cools off but before it gets cold. Build a fire at night to keep warmer. Deserts also tend to get very cold in the nighttime though. And yeah, mirages are caused by the same shit as when you're driving on a long straight road and it see what looks like puddles way in the distance. Deserts do get freezing cold at night, but moving keeps your body temp up. Don't pee on a jellyfish sting. Just because the tentacles are detached doesn't mean they can't hurt you anymore. The nematocytes sting when they detect a change in salinity, so peeing on it can make it worse. Use seawater to wash off any tentacles that remain, and of course get medical attention ASAP. Edit. I blame friends for this. Apparently some people think the best way to survive a wolf attack is to bend down and show the wolf you're submissive towards him and pose as no threat. If you do this, you're dead. The wolf will 100% kill you. Your best bet is to walk away without turning your backs on them, maintaining eye contact the whole way. If you look away or turn your back, the wolf's killer instinct will kick in and it'll kill you. Don't make a lot of noise and aggressive movements towards a wolf the same way you do to a black bear, because most likely it'll be seen as a challenge, not a threat. Do not make aggressive movements, loud noises towards a black bear. Treat it in much the same way. Back away slowly, maintain visual of bear but no eye contact. Say "Hey bear, WOA bear" calmly, as there's chance it may not have heard you. This will help avoid startling it. Source: I worked for parks for 5 years in prime grizzly, black bear habitat. Edit. Source: for those interested and want to learn more. https www. Alberta Parks. CA Parks, Kananaskis Country, Advisories, Public Safety, Wildlife. Be bear smart. Do I have to use those words specifically? Alcohol makes you feel warmer. But if you drink, your veins become wider. This is why you feel warmer, but also this is why you will freeze faster. Do not ration your water too much. Your body needs at least 1.5 liter in normal circumstances. There is no reason to drink less than this if you are lost, other than to die from dehydration. They actually found people who died of dehydration with *****ing water in their bottles. Just heard a saying for the first time recently: ration sweat, not water. So sit your pretty ass down in the shade during the day and sip your water and wait to be rescued. Hopefully people are looking for you because you told him where you would be. Moss always grows at the north side. This is bullshit. Moss grows wherever it's moist. Remember that the sun is to the south, so things such as tree trunks or rocks will dry on the south side quicker when exposed to sunlight. So moss tends to do better on the north side anyways. In dark places it doesn't matter, but at least in the northern hemisphere it is more prevalent in the north side of things. This mostly applies in northern latitudes though. Right at the equator it's useless, and south it's opposite. Not related to the outdoors, but survival nonetheless. If someone is threatening to kidnap you, do not go with them, monsieur. If you follow them, you're gone almost for certain. Scream for help in GT, run in GT, fight back if you can. Cooperation will only land you in a worse situation. Edit. Piggybacking my own comment since it got some attention. If you're ever being strangled, turn your head all the way to one side. This will give you a small advantage in being able to breathe minimally, as the force isn't as great on your windpipe. Use this time to press your thumbs into your attacker's size. Yes, just like in Game of Thrones. Nah, sister. You're not getting me to no secondary location. Take that money clip out of your Aladdin wallet, toss it, and run like hell. Luckily this is not a common survival myth, but it is so insane I think it's worth mentioning here. On one of Bear Grylls' idiot shows he's trying to hike overland toward where he knows a town is. The terrain is extremely rough and it's time-consuming to detour around several impassable obstacles. He shows the viewer how to shave several miles off this journey by using a flooded cave as a shortcut asterisk. He literally goes cave diving, one of the most dangerous things in the world you can do, regardless of the circumstances, without any equipment, and portrays it as a helpful survival tip.